Jeremy, let's just say in the workplace there's that one person who doesn't necessarily get the work or the task done that's been set or agreed, but it's never their fault. It's never their fault. It could be the printer, it could be waiting on some information for somebody and it didn't turn up, or maybe something didn't quite go to plan, but it was never their fault from no preparation and things like that. How do you deal with that?
Okay. One excuse after another. I call these people the wrigglers.
The wrigglers.
The wrigglers. If you were to put it more kindly, you might call them the evasives or the evaders. The first thing that you need to understand is you're dealing with their will. They don't actually want to do it. So really important to acknowledge that right from the outset, so that we then know that all the excuses that they come up with are not valid.
Okay.
However, what you have to do as the manager is start with those excuses, get more information from them about those, and gradually, one at a time, tick them off in terms of, no, I don't think so, that's not really valid. And gradually, you kind of nail them down to a situation where they know that they are accountable, come what may, and they have to deliver it, and that requires then some real assertiveness from you, the manager. Now, the problem is, in my view, is that these people can come across as very friendly, as wanting to do this, as being concerned to do a good job, but they also sort of emotionally blackmail you by saying, but Jeremy, no one's got enough time these days to do this, and even if we get these figures that you want from me, we know that those up there never really read them, so it's a pretty good waste of time anyway. And they try and use that sort of emotional blackmail to win you over to their cause. So, comments so far on that? Have you kind of witnessed that, in your dealings with these people? They use those kind of techniques?
Yes.
Yeah.
Guilty as charged.
Well, you used them yourself. Oh my word, okay. Well, all right. Okay.
Only once, in my defence.
So at least you recognise
But you're
it.
right, I didn't want to do the job, you're right. And I realise that now. I realise why I had those excuses. That's why.
Okay.
I can...
So you can understand. You can understand that as a manager, as your manager, that they have a task on their hand to try and get this from you, even though you don't want to do it. So what you do is, as the manager, you ask for a meeting with the person, and they come in, and you say to this individual with the proof in front of you, as you know, we agreed that you would get me the figures for the sales campaigns on a month-by-month basis by the 25th of each month, so that I can include them in my report to my manager, and he then includes them in his reports upwards. I'm not getting those figures from you on time. In the last few months, I've had to chase you every time because the deadline has passed, and I'm hearing from you one excuse after another.
Okay, I wasn't quite that bad, but yeah, I see where you're coming from, yeah.
And then what you say is, now, what is really going on? Because I must have those figures by the 25th of the month here onwards. So, what are you going to do to get me those figures on time? They may come up with, well, I haven't got the time, in which case I would say, well, tell me how you're using your time and how you could change the use of your time to get this report to me. They may say, well, I'm not getting the information from others to enable me to put these figures together. And I might say, talk me through the process by which you get this information from others. When do you start? How do you chase them up? When do you chase them up to make sure you do get the figures? Well, it's the IT that isn't always working properly. Give me an example. What have you done to get that IT situation sorted? So that one by one, in terms of the excuses, I'm having them, held accountable for doing something about it. We then get down to a summary. So, in this coming month, you're going to make sure that you reorganize your time. You're going to chase these other people more in advance. And you're going to talk to the IT manager about fixing this one piece of equipment which constantly lets you down. Are we agreed on that? Because on the first of the following month, we're going to meet again and we want to have a look at what you've achieved, and I want to see that you have made those improvements yourself, because at the end of the day, you are accountable. So, are we all agreed that that's what's going to happen? And then you take it from there. So the keys are being very clear on the agreed objective, describing what is happening that is not in line with that performance objective, asking what is going wrong, asking the person then what they've done about it or what else they can do about it, so narrowing it all the way down to more things or new things they can be doing, reinforcing the personal accountability, being assertive, using silence, and using a lot of you language. What are you going to do? And make a very tight time frame for following up to make sure they understand that this is important, it has to be done, and you're on the case. That would be my advice.
Right. Thank you very much.